The free agent rumors have begun. We are a little less than 1 month away from NFL free agency, but that won't stop us now from talking about potential free agents that could join the Tennessee Titans. Welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and I have the question: are the Titans targeting David Njoku as a possible free agent to join this team and join the tight end room? And why are we talking about this? Well, because yesterday, Njoku put this long post on Instagram and talked about just not re-signing with the Browns. He announced that he is going to be a free agent and he is not going to sign another contract, so he's going to go find a new home somewhere else, and talked about just how much he is thankful to be a Cleveland Brown. But that garnered the question: will he be a Tennessee Titan? We'll break it all down, but first, we are getting closer and closer and closer to our goal of 12,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want more coverage for the Titans almost every single day, talking news, talking rumors, talking draft, talking free agency, go ahead, hit that sub button right now. I know 210 of you watching this are not subscribed to the channel. So let's talk about it. David Njoku, this is exactly what he said on his Instagram post. Cleveland, first off, I love you. These 9 years have been a beautiful journey. I am so grateful for all the memories we shared together. Thank you to the Haslams and Drew Barry and the whole Browns organization for everything. All my teammates I shared the battle with, I'm so grateful for you guys. The time for me to find a new home has come, and all I can think of is just the gratefulness in my heart. The city of Cleveland and will be forever be the home. So I'll ask the question: do the Titans need to find another tight end? Do they need to sign a guy like David Njoku to be a part of this offense as they start to revamp it to build around Cam Ward? Do they need to find that top guy? Because honestly, there isn't really a top guy on the team. Calvin Ridley is probably going to be a cap casualty. You have L.K. Manor. You have Jameer DK. You have Gunnar Helm, which we'll talk about in the back half of the show. But you don't have someone that is going to be the number one target. And I know he only played in 12 games this year, but David Njoku is still a solid, very solid tight end. You could see when you target him, most likely he's going to catch the pass. 48 targets, 33 receptions, 293 yards, 8.9 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns, and only 2 drops on the year. And this year, he only played 12 games. He's going a bit of a down year for him, but I still think he has something left in the tank. You can see in 24, and we also got to talk about just the quarterback situation that the Browns had. In 24, a lot better, 64 receptions. 23, even better, 81. And then 2022, 58. I look back at that 2023 season and 81 receptions, 882 yards, 6 touchdowns. I think that he could possibly be that guy for the Titans. He gets healthy, he gets a good quarterback, and also he would now be the number one tight end. He wasn't the number one guy in Cleveland anymore. It was Harold Fannin, and you saw that throughout the entire season, that he slowly started to gradually get better and better, and they went, well, David, we really like you, but it's time for you to go. So he said, well, it's time for him to leave. But why should he target, or why should Tennessee target Njoku, and why would he be a good fit? Well, you got a solid coaching staff with Brian Daboll. I think with Brian Daboll, it is it's a primary pass offense. I think with Cam Ward and the system that is put in, he would thrive. He would be a pure tight end. He would block and also go out and catch passes. And your franchise quarterback, Cam Ward. Back in Cleveland, you went through so many quarterbacks so many times. You had Jameis Winston one year, then Deshaun Watson. Then you came out this year with Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. He has never had a pure, good franchise quarterback around him to build and have a good season. He's just been a diamond in a terrible spot, or a Bugatti in a trailer park, as you see that meme on Twitter. And the Titans, they could do whatever they want. They got $99 million in cap space. And Njoku could say, I want to go to a proven winner. Well, you've never been there before, so I like to see the Titans have a lot better future than the Browns. So it would be a top spot if you want to go and get a little bit of dough. I'll ask you guys, do you want David Njoku to be a Titan? You let me know down in the comments section. Give me a Y for yes, or give me an N for no. I'm okay with it. I'd do it in a heartbeat. But you guys let me know down in the comments section. On the back half of the show, Talking about David Njoku, you might be like, well, Brett, we got more tight ends. We have Chig Okonkwo, who's basically one of the same exact guys as Njoku, and also a rising tight end. Well, we'll get into that in a second, but first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is PrizePicks. Shoot your shot on PrizePicks and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. That's right, PrizePicks is now giving you $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5. PrizePicks makes every dunk, every dime, and every board much more exciting. So don't miss this chance to get started on America's #1 app for sports picks. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just more or less than 2 to 6 players. 2 or 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you can cash in. There's a new feature alert on PrizePicks, and they have early payouts. If your player gets out to a hot start, you may have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. And football season's over, basketball season's starting, baseball season is gearing up. We also have motorsports. Everything happens on PrizePicks, but you got to download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Okay, so let's talked about David Njoku, and everybody's having the same exact question is, we have 2 tight ends that are really solid. Why would we go after David Njoku? Well, if you look at the Titans tight end depth chart, there's 3 guys. You have Chig, and this is updated up to the season because Chig Okonkwo is set to be a free agent. Then Gunnar Helm, the free agent or the rookie out of Texas, and then David Martin Robinson, who is mainly a special teams guy for the Titans. So it's not that great of a room, but specifically, you have to look at one guy in particular, and that is Chig. Solid season in 2025, and he was pretty much the main guy for Cam Ward. He was the most consistent guy. I mean, when you look at the stats, everything is, he's your top wide receiver, and he's not even a wide receiver. He's a tight end. 56 catches, 560 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 10 yards per catch average. And I really don't understand why the Titans would do this. I guess they just don't want to pay him because he's a very young player. He's younger than David Njoku. But it seems like the Titans are going to let him walk and join free agency, and he's going to find a new home just like Njoku is. And why? Well, because of what David did on Instagram, Chig is doing the same thing on Twitter. He tweeted this out. Thank you, Tennessee, for allowing me to live out my childhood dreams. Playing in the NFL, representing the Titans for the past 4 years has been an incredible, unbelievable privilege that it will never take for granted. Thank you, Lord, for keeping me safe and allowing me to play every game these past 4 years. Love you, Nashville. So it seems like he's not going to be here after this year. So you're going to have to go out and find a new tight end. But is David Njoku going to be that #1 option? That is a good question because you got the new starter coming in, and this guy kind of shined towards the end of the season, and he showed that he has potential to be that #1 tight end going forward. At the beginning of the year, Gunnar Helm was kind of like your under-the-radar guy, but as the season went on and as the confidence started with Cam Ward, he emerged as a top target. And if you look at his stats, and he did not play in that many games. Like, he played in games, but he did not get that many starts. It was a lot on special teams. 44 catches, 357 yards, still had 2 touchdowns and an 8.1 average. But as it went on and on and on, he was getting more and more playing time, and he kind of emerged as that top guy over Chig Okonkwo. If you look at the first 4 weeks of his NFL career, he had a total of 92 snaps. But then you look at, because he did not play week 18 for rest, 14 out of 17 weeks, he had 165. That is almost double of what he did the first 4 weeks compared to the last 4 weeks that he played. He emerged as the #1 tight end, and I think that the Titans see that. I think that Brian Daboll sees that. I think that Cam Ward sees that, and he sees Gunnar Helm as being one of those top guys. But is he ready just yet? That's the question. But you have so much money in cap space that you could give a guy like David Njoku maybe 2 years, $15 million a year, 7.5, $8 million a year, and have him be that mentor. Have him kind of develop Gunnar Helm. He's there for 2 years, maybe have a 1 year, have a team option type of thing, and you could see what happens. But It would be an easy pick for the Titans to go out and get a veteran tight end, because you can go in with Gunnar Helm as your number 1 or number 2, but I do not want David Martin Robinson being your second guy in command. I want a guy like David Njoku. That's just mine. And the Titans, they run a lot of 12 personnel. At least they did last year, and I'm expecting Brian Daboll to run a lot of 12 personnel, because that's just what the NFL is in today's day and age. So I would expect them to go out and get another tight end if they're letting Chig Okonkwo walk. Will it be David Njoku? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But we're not going to have to wait too long, because we are 27 days away from NFL free agency. It is going to be getting on us extremely quick. I can't believe that it's already less than a month away. So if you don't want to miss out, turn on your notifications and also subscribe to the channel, because we have you covered every single day of the way. When the Titans make a move, we make a video. So go ahead and hit that sub button, and as always, tighten up.